What's up, everybody? It's Chad. I'm back again with another episode of Ask Chad Grassy Logic. We're here today. I'm here with James Flores from Top of the Eighth. Title today is Top of the Eighth Home Field Advantage, and you'll figure out the reason why it's titled that here in a little bit. So, James, thank you so much for joining me today, man.
What's up, my man? No, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for finally getting a chance with us on your show. I really appreciate it. It's been a long time coming for sure. You know, we've had avenues kind of miss each other, but we were finally able to get on it. So thank you for having us for sure.
Dude, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're a busy guy. That's one reason why, I'm a very patient dude. I like doing things right. And, when the time's right, it'll present itself. And it did. So now we're here and, we got it all together. So now we can get the whole area knowing who Top of the Eighth is, which I don't know many people who don't know who Top of the Eighth is at this point.
Definitely,
So,
brother.
yeah, and I wanted to show this off. I actually had a little apparel to show off. So, some dude gave this to me. Crazy
There you
guy,
go,
man.
man.
Yeah.
You know, I must have ran into the same cat because
Yeah.
we got the same one on, brother. That's just a real quick introduction. That's Turpy, our blunt smoking roadrunner. Super happy to have him on our squad. He's been one of our forefront logos that has really been getting some attention, and from people in the neighborhood to we've had people come from various states to grab stickers because they absolutely love it. So yeah, welcome Turpy the Roadrunner.
Heck yeah, dude. And you got to highlight the Roadrunner. That's like,
Oh yeah,
the secret
definitely,
code in
man.
Mexico.
Yeah, man, I'm a Zia child since I was born, so that's hometown, baby.
Born and raised, same here,
Yes,
man. I
sir.
get it 100%. Yeah. And, like I said, before the show, we were talking, and, I went to Washington State and I was wearing this shirt, and people were like, is that a baseball team? And I was like, should be.
Yeah, definitely, man. It fits so well.
Oh, it does, 100%. So anyway, I want to give you the chance to introduce yourself. Introduce Top of Eighth, and let everybody know who you are. Sorry for the long intro. We get to talking sometimes. So go ahead, James.
You're good, my brother. No worries. So my name's James Flores. One of the main guys here at Top of the Eighth. We are a baseball themed dispensary, and anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we're the only one in the United States and probably the world that has baseball theme pushing behind it. There is other brands out there that kind of do something similar to infused joints and all that stuff, but we're for sure setting the bar at a whole different, you know, we're really raising that bar kind of high because you walk into Top of the Eighth, and I think since the last time you were in here, brother, we've completely changed the whole layout. We're always got the baseball games going. We just recently jumped into a whole new merchant profile too. I'll get into it a little bit later, but it's been a fun journey up to this point, and I'm super excited to share it with y'all.
Nice. And real quick before I get into the question and everything, where is Top of the Eighth located?
So we're right in the heart of Anthony, New Mexico, man, right in the neighborhood. We all grew up. I grew up in a little small town. I'll always show love to my neighborhood where I grew up, La Union. That's a small little farming community, but it's the same zip code. We all had the same grocery store that we had to utilize. The whole valley. I mean, if you know that Valley Boys runs deep. So that there's one grocery store here, and we're right in the heart of Anthony. We're off of Main Street. 1275 Anthony Drive, and that's in Suite 7. You'll definitely be able to see us from the road. We're working, and I do apologize, guys, for those of you that have been out here later in the evening. It is a little dark out there. We're currently working on getting some good lighting out there and everything, but if you swing by during the day, it's an iconic red building. With us being so baseball themed, when you go to a baseball park, they have that iconic yellow line that runs across the home that kind of distincts what the playing field is, and we have that running across the roof line as well. So it's a big bright yellow line across the top and a big red building.
Nice. Yeah, it is hard to miss, to be honest. I've been there a couple times, and once you get into the parking lot, you can see it. So
Yeah.
you're not going to miss it if you use Google.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
so yeah, and I love the idea of it. We've spoken before. About a year ago, I think was the first time we talked, and I really love the baseball theme. I'm a baseball fan myself. I played my whole life. I was a pitcher. I guess I had to be since I'm left-handed. Uh,
You're godsent, bro. Lefties are godsent.
oh, dude, yeah, my dad found out I was left-handed, and he just so happened to be a coach in Alamogordo, and the
There
rest
you
is
go, man.
history.
End of story.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love that theme, and it's like an American sport, more or less. Like
For
most
sure.
Americans really know what baseball is, at least. And
Hmm.
I'm sure most people from our generation, everything, heard that Nelly song, and
Yeah.
a lot of people can identify with that. So yeah. So can you give us a little history of where this whole idea came from, and really what you guys are about and what you're trying to accomplish?
Sure thing, brother. So top of the eighth was I'd always been in the market to open up something for myself, to open up something for my family down the line and everything. And I'd tried a few different little things. The food truck thing had always came up, and we wanted to dabble in certain things. And when this actually hit the market and it was within my reach, I ran with it, man. I ran with it. I had my brother come on with us. He's one of my right hand men. My other cousin Lalo, he's a little tied up right now with other things, but great guy, smart young man. I think the team that we've built to really get to where we're at is it's an amazing accomplishment to kind of see where we were at, and that whim of a idea turned into a piece of paper. A real good friend of mine told me, write your stuff down, dude. See it, visualize it, everything. And the piece of paper turned into a hard thought, and then the thought turned into reality, dude. Before I knew it, I was inking a lease on a place. We were working diligently on our packet with CCD, and working hand in hand with the city of Anthony to really kind of move forward with something that our community never, Anthony's unfortunately a big underserved community, and for us to be able to bring something like this that's so iconic, not only from the name to the colors to the theme to it means a lot to the community on a whole different level.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, and the title of the episode is home field advantage.
Yeah,
So the reason
for
why I
sure.
say that is you're from Anthony, born and
Yeah,
raised. You really support the locals there. And the
yeah,
locals really support you. It's a real ecosystem that you have going on there, and that's the reason why I call it home field advantage, because you set that up,
definitely.
and that was smart.
Yeah,
And you're really embracing local. When people say, oh, buy local, you're not just buying local, you're supporting the shit out of local. And
yeah,
I
definitely,
give you
man.
that. I respect you for that. So, that's
Yeah,
dope
for
to see. You
sure.
don't see that a lot these days. So, no, that's one reason why, I rock the shirt.
Cool, man. I love it.
Yeah. So, how long you guys been operating for?
We just recently celebrated our year of work. We opened our doors Cinco de Mayo of 2022. So this past Cinco de Mayo was, an emotional day for us for sure. It was very sweet moment to celebrate with my guys. Unfortunately, I was out of town at a baseball tournament or softball tournament with my kiddos, but everyone knew I was here for sure in spirit. Uh, so yeah, it's been about a year, and what are we in July? We're going on a year and 2 months.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think I think I met you right when you opened, almost.
Yeah,
It was almost right away. So yeah, that was
we
really
still had
cool.
the chalkboard menu on the wall, dude. It
I
was
love it.
I've looked back, dude, and really like got a nostalgic feeling of where we're at now, the accomplishments that we've hit, the upgrades that we've made. Every time a new TV goes up, or a new something that we've inked on paper to see actually start hanging on the wall means a lot to us, dude.
Yeah. No, 100%. And it's always important to take photos, especially when it's a business like that, so you can see the transformation and where you came from, and you can go back
Definitely.
and laugh.
Yeah,
Look
exactly, dude.
how
Me and
young
Lalo
I
were
look.
Yeah, me and Lalo were laughing at it the other day. We had like four strains on the menu with one chocolate bar, and then now there's no stopping the rolling ball downhill now, man. So we're super excited.
Heck yeah, dude. And I'm excited for you guys too. You're killing it out in Anthony and all that. And so what'd you do before the industry? Were you in the cannabis industry before, or, what were you doing beforehand?
You know what? I used to be a state regulator with the state of New Mexico. I had a state job. That was one of the big, jumps that I made. I had a pension, everything. I was set, and I went out on a limb to really make what I wanted happen.
Yeah.
Um, so I had to cash out my retirement, you know, and we just hit grind mode and we didn't stop, you know. It
Yeah.
was we hit the ground running for sure, you know. And but yeah, to answer your question, I was a state regulator back in the day, with the education department, so we did all that back end stuff too. So when I call it somewhat of a Bible, when that big book hit, I had a binder, 3-ring binder,
Yeah.
and I studied it, dude. I
Yeah.
studied it, I learned it, I read it and read it and read it again, you know, and I've read it again with all the new changes. And
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people underestimate sometimes is, oh, well, how'd you do it? Man, you just got to sit down and read. It's dedication. It's kind of teaching yourself, you know. I had no one really in the industry experience come to me um, offering a lot of help, and I don't think there was a lot of help to be offered in any way either. So it
Yeah.
was, I had to teach myself, dude. BioTrack, I learned everything by clicking the wrong button and figuring out how to fix shit after I
Yeah.
completely bombed it, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a learning process, and I'm still learning, dude. I think
Yeah.
you don't take losses, you take lessons, you know. And that's one of my big things that we've built on, you know, is you learn every day. If you don't learn something every day, you're losing. So learn.
100%. And I had some really good advice from an instructor when I was in the army, and he told me, "You'll learn everything about this job the day you die." And it couldn't be more true for most jobs. You're not
Yeah.
going to learn everything about it, and that's great because you're going to keep learning. It's going to want to keep you going with it. And that's great that you just decided. And some people may have called you crazy, huh, for
Oh yeah,
leaving the
dude.
state job and
I heard it every which way that they could dish it, man. What are you doing? Uh they're gonna, no, this doesn't work. That's not, you know. And I tucked my head, bro. I tucked my head and rolled with the punches, and whoever was behind me, I put them on my back and we walked. And then when I couldn't walk no more, they walked for me. My team
yeah.
is strong, dude. I'm blessed, you know, blessed.
Heck yeah. And yeah, we were talking about your team beforehand, and I've got to meet them, really cool people, really passionate. They all come out and start talking. They're very,
Yeah,
they do like talking to people, which is great.
yeah,
Sometimes you go to a dispensary and they order they hire that person that just isn't very good at talking to people. And, it's a little awkward, and you're kind of like, all right, I feel like I'm not welcome here. So it's
yeah.
great to have that environment where, they're very welcoming and everything. And, you
Yeah,
guys
for
just
sure,
go,
man. I've really taught my staff to, it doesn't matter the monetary value that they're coming into the shop to spend, you take care of them no matter what.
nice.
If they're coming in for a lighter or 3 bongs because they're headed to a party, it doesn't matter. Like, you take care of that person and you
Mhm.
give them the absolute experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
From the minute that they walk into the door to the minute that they walk out, they're gonna remember us. The colors, the service that they've been treated with, and we strive so hard for that, man.
Yeah, definitely, especially the King Griffey Jr. Roadrunner
Yeah,
on the T-shirt.
there you go, man.
Yeah. So no, 100%. I agree with that. Customer experience is really important. I try to tell people that all the time. I'm like, customer experience. There's a reason why people use certain products or do certain things because I love the customer
Exactly.
experience that goes along with it. There's a
Yeah,
reason why people love going to Apple stores. You know,
yeah,
that whole customer experience that comes along with it. Um,
exactly.
so do you guys carry your own product or is it other people's product? Or maybe do you have something
We pretty
work?
much we help out a lot of people in the community. We give, that's one of the things too, that when we built this, I wanted to absolutely use this platform for the community.
Mhm.
We work with a lot of farmers throughout the state. We take care of everyone. We give them a platform to really push their product. We've been blessed with a great location. We've been blessed with a great following and a great rapport with the community. And I think a lot of smaller farmers have started to notice who we are and everything. And those are the people that we work with. Yeah, we do work with bigger names. We hold Bloom and all that stuff, all that good stuff. But I mean, the little farmer gets a chance just like the big dude does,
Mhm.
especially on our platform.
Heck,
And I think that goes a long way. Since we've opened our doors, dude, we've had a community table. They're more than welcome to drop off their cards. You can find everything at our community table, from jumping balloons to tables and chairs to lawn cleaning services. And I think it gives not only the smaller farmer a chance, but the local dude a chance to really, you know, a lot of people come in and out, you know, and it catches the eye for sure. So, but yeah, to answer your question, dude, we do work with, we try to work with everyone as much as possible. But I mean, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of that.
Yeah, definitely. No, and that's great to hear that you guys are really supportive of, you know, all these people, especially local. And, you know, Southern New Mexico is kind of just getting geared up still. You know,
Yeah.
we're not really done getting set up. And so, you
Yeah.
know, there's going to be more people coming online. And, you know, the cannabis in New Mexico is getting a lot better.
Oh yeah, man,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
I
it's
think
getting a lot.
that it's exciting to see for sure, man. When everything kind of first launched and everything, I was like, oh man, we're gonna have a lot of growing pains. But the way it's kind of evolved so quickly is exciting to see. To see the farmers that we work with hand in hand, day in and day out. The excitement of them is very heartwarming to us because they come in so proud of their product,
Yeah.
and I'm so proud to hold it for them. You know, I think that in hand itself creates a great experience for the producer. You know, because they know that their stuff is going to get seen, their logo is going to get seen. You know, and I think that's huge. That's huge
Yeah.
for them,
No, that's great.
for
And it
everyone,
seems like
honestly.
you guys are kind of creating a little platform yourself on how to operate almost, you know, and it's kind
Yeah,
of along the lines of how I would see want to do it, you know, very professional and everything, but you know, you also want to have fun. So it's
yeah.
great that you guys are taking that route and going the route that you are. So that's cool. That's cool shit.
Yeah, for sure, man. We definitely try to keep the environment as cush as possible, even with us vibing with our guys. I mean, we have a PlayStation and on the other side that we'll get down on, dude. Like we'll throw
Yeah.
little tournaments and the loser has to buy the eighth, you know? So it's fun, dude. It's fun. It's from customer experience to producer experience to employee experience.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's great, dude. And it's so great to see, you know, people enjoying legalization this way, where you can do that with your buddies. Be like, you lost, you got to get
Y-
me an eight.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Exactly. That's what it's been. And then you'll see, like, because our office is on the other side, a couple units down, and when those tournaments get going, man, you'll hear these guys screaming like, "No!" and "Yes!" and it's fun. It's fun, man.
Let's
I have to go over there
go.
like, "Hey, what the heck are you guys doing?"
Oh, I get it, but you're a little loud.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I can
fun
get
though,
it
man.
though. But yeah, do you guys offer any discounts of any sort, like industry?
Yes,
Or?
we do. We have a military discount. We have industry discount. We definitely take care of. I mean, just because you're my competitor doesn't mean I'm not going to take care of you. You know,
Sure.
I believe there's really no Batman without a Joker, and I think they really go hand in hand. That's always how I've seen it. Everyone's like, "Hey, there's another one opening up." You know, best of luck to them. Let's definitely rock together. But if you guys want to come cop an eighth or an infused joint from us, definitely I'll take care of you too.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates were friends, but they were
There
competitors
you
at the
go.
end of the day. So
Yeah,
you know, they'd give each other discounts still.
yeah. I bet you they do, man.
Yeah. So, can people order online with your website or anything?
You know what? Not just yet, brother. We're working on that. That's definitely inked on our to-do list. Our to-do list just got like 10 times the size of it, and stuff had to kind of get rearranged.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit later, but not just yet, brother. Not yet.
Cool. Are you expanding at all? Any plans of expansion?
Yeah,
Another shop?
yeah. We'll jump
Ah,
into
there
it
we
then.
go.
I'll spill the beans, man. Sunland Park, here
Yeah.
we come. We're coming,
Look at me back.
rolling, steam rolling in. So we'll see everyone pretty soon.
Nice, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, definitely. We're excited about that. We're gonna go provide the same quality service. Um, I'll get into it too right now too. I don't know the last time if you came in here, brother. When did you see the far end wall and the new display cases by any chance?
I don't think I was there for that because the
All
last
right,
time
cool.
we
So
went
so
was.
maybe right after this interview, I can treat you guys to a little quick back end of it. We just recently started selling sneakers.
Oh,
We became Pro Club certified. We're selling heavyweight T-shirts very soon. We are selling amazing baseball caps. We source them from the finest sources. We have some of the most exclusive drops in baseball caps. We have some of the most exclusive drops in shoes. We have those brand new Bad Bunnies. We have those brand new Spider-Man kicks. We got all the pandas you could think about. You know, we are definitely changing the makeup of things. You can definitely walk in and get a fresh hat, a fresh t-shirt, and a fat eighth for the evening, and there's no other stopping but here. You know, we're working on also adding some other different goodies and stuff for the people to be able to walk out with to help with that cotton mouth, you know. So we're super excited. The expansion is definitely coming, and if anyone's came to Top of the Eighth and Anthony, just wait for Top of the Eighth Sunland Park, because that one's gonna be, I guess it would be kind of go hand in hand with baseball sometimes, but that one might be on steroids.
I gotta ask, are you gonna have a mini batting cage?
Right? It's coming for sure, man. We're gonna do a lot of fun shit in Sunland. It's gonna be an experience, to say the least. You know, you're gonna be able to actually come in and do 10 different things versus the 5 that we have here. You know, well, again, our team just continuously grows stronger and stronger every day. And we're already diligently working on building a great team for Sunland Park, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%. And, you know, welcome to Little Dubai.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's where it's at.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's only like 17,000 residents there, but they're like third or fourth in the state in sales. It's something ridiculous like that. You know, they're killing it. So, you know, congrats, and, you know, congrats getting down there, and I can't wait to go check it out.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hopefully, just ETA on that. God willing, if everything goes right, all our dominoes fall in place and everything, we're hopefully shooting towards the end of the year. So that way we could really kick off 2024 with a bang, and close out 2023 with a really good bang as well, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, headed into the spring season, really.
Yeah, exactly. Right for spring training. We'll be ready to go.
Exactly. So, is there anything else that you have planned to do with the community, kind of, you know, that you're working on?
You know what, dude? We have been working very diligently with Vaqueros Americanos. Those are Danny's our really good friend down there. He does a lot of great work as far as bull riding. They do, I believe it's called mutton busting. If that I might be wrong on that. Sorry if I butchered that. That's where the little dudes get on the little sheep and they ride the sheep. They learn the basics of like bull riding and stuff. So we've worked hand in hand with them. We've helped them out quite a bit with what they're doing. They're doing great work. So we kind of jumped on with them. Super excited to see what the following months bring. As soon as it stops with this damn 108-degree weather, you know, it's killer. So we're excited to see what the fall brings. But yes, we do plan on doing, you know, different events and stuff, how we've kind of structured ourselves with the community. Definitely showing a lot of love to all the locals in the area. Rolling Smoke Barbecue, I'll throw it out there. Y'all are my boys. The Ranch Cantina, you know, that's where it's at. El Camarón, all those. It's all neighborhood love, man. And I think that's it's huge. It's not only translating to us doing small little events and stuff like that, but throwing those shout outs is massive for the community. Even the local car groups, everything. We love everyone. Everyone really, really entwines themselves with us, and we entwine ourselves back to them. And I think it just gets that rooted word of mouth out there on a whole different level. You know, I think it's definitely it's sweet to see, man, because the community has had certain things happen that they fall through, and then it's kind of a bummer. And when we kind of band together, we're unstoppable, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, just like an anthill, you know, just one ant isn't going to do much, but you know, that whole ant can do some damage. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It takes one person with the voice, man, to really get people running. And if I have to be that person, then shit, let's hold some hands and get it going, bro.
Yeah, 100%. You know, that's where I'm at. I'm right there with you. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be a second voice if you need. So
Excellent.
100%. And so you don't really have any events or anything, planned for the future. I know you mentioned, that you were, but nothing soon.
Yeah, so everything kind of got put on the back burner. That's what I was saying earlier, that our inked to-do list kind of got, first jumped down to 14th because we're really trying to get that Sunland Park location going up and running and
Absolutely.
everything. That's kind of pulling us in a direction that was unexpected. It fell in our lap fairly quickly. It was always something that we wanted to do, and then I made a couple phone calls, and then it was there. And now, before I knew it, I was inking another lease, and it was just we had to reconstruct everything. We had to restructure priorities and everything. So as of right now, top of the eighth is kind of holding off on big events. I know our first one was a blast. If you guys were able to make it out, the community came out heavy, man. I was excited to see so many people out. We had Mr. Capone out here last June, and he put on a hell of a show. We had another one of our really good friends, Grupo A1, local cats also. They killed the music game. They pull a whole different set of crowd, and it's so fun. It's definitely something on our to-do list, and I might have to reevaluate it and put it up a little higher because I know the community's been asking. It's definitely a fun party to come to.
Yeah.
So
I
as
remember you
soon
were
as
planning.
as soon as it gets on and popping, we'll definitely social media the hell out of it and promote it again how we did that first time. So yeah, that's pretty much where we stand right now with events, brother.
Nice, man. Well, let me know and I'll share it too, because that was pretty
Bet.
cool. I remember you were, planning it when I first met you, and I was like, that
Yeah.
sounds pretty dope. And then I saw it, I was like, that looks pretty dope.
Yeah, dude, we had a real good friend of ours, J Media, come out and did an immaculate video for us, and it was to see it all come together like that. It was again, I in the middle of the car show and everything, I kind of just had to like sit back and digest it. It
Yeah,
was a very bittersweet moment. It was just like bittersweet because I was so exhausted, but the sweetness of it, of just making something happen for the community, dude. They haven't had that in forever,
yeah,
and it's big. It's big for the community. They love it. I love
that's
it. We
awesome.
love it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one reason why you guys are doing so good. You just you involve the community so much. Without the community, you're nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the customers. So great. And speaking of, before we move on to the next topic, can you let everybody know again where you guys are located and which your hours of operations are?
Oh, sure thing, brother. We're open 7 days a week. We are at 1275 Anthony Drive, Suite C7 in Anthony, New Mexico, with the zip code of 88021. Big red building to the right if you're headed south. Big red building to the left if you're headed north on Main Street. A lot of people that know the area, if you hit Pickwick or what is now Circle K, if you hit it, you've went a little too far. Come back a bit, and you'll definitely see us. We run. Yeah, I already said that 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's our schedule. Our guys will take care of you, whether it's at 9:45 in the evening or 9:45 in the morning. You guys come by, definitely get an experience of a lifetime, and just come check it out, man. We have a lot of the same products of a lot of our competitors and everything, just because of the market and everything. But I think what sets us aside is the experience and the price tag. I'll take
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah.
there's still some places selling like $14 grams for stuff that isn't $14 a gram. You know?
I've seen it, bro. I've
Yeah,
seen
me
it.
too. It's all over the place. So I really appreciate you joining me, and I'm glad that you decided to stay for the rest of the conversation. But yeah, this is James again from Top of the Eighth, and yeah, thank you again, man. It's been more than an honor having you on the show. So we're going to move on with the episode, and we're going to talk about the next topic. The city of Santa Fe is not allowing consumption lounges. Does Anthony have any consumption lounges by any chance,
Um, Not just yet, boss.
or is that you
I
maybe?
I would like to maybe dabble into that very soon too, to see where we could get along with that. But no, to answer your question in a short way, we don't have any right now.
Okay. I mean, there's only like one, I think maybe another one here in Cruces. Albuquerque has quite a few now. I think at first they weren't allowing them, and I think drive-throughs, but I think they changed their mind because that's what happened in this instance in Santa Fe. Is the city council decided that they weren't going to allow consumption lounges at all. and it kind of hindered a few people that were trying to open theirs. They had everything going, they got it kind of set up, and then I guess they found out they couldn't do it because the city decided that they didn't want to. This is kind of surprising, and this is allowed in the law. It allows local jurisdictions to do different stuff when it comes to the law, the rules, essentially, and it gives the local governments the authority to either have or not have consumption lounges, unlike retails where they can't outright ban a retail establishment with like doing crazy operation hours or things like that. They
Yeah.
found other ways, with like the between feet with the dispensaries. They kind of figured out how to kind of keep people out that way, but it's kind of backfiring because out-of-state entities are kind of moving in from that, and it's kind of screwing locals over. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
well, we need to get rid of this, but it's kind of hard to get rid of right now.
Yeah.
How do you really feel about places not implementing or allowing consumption lounges, other than places that just don't have it?
You know what, man? I think if you're able to go have a beer somewhere, you should be able to go smoke a joint somewhere. Why not?
Yeah,
Go
100%.
relax out how you relax out. What's yours in? What do you need to kind of get the bullshit off your back from the week? I think it's very important. And I know sometimes cannabis can be more of like a ritual type stuff to each his own, however you guys partake. But a lot of people just want to kind of get out there and laugh and giggle and see something funny on the TV or play some pool. Not everyone's a drinker,
Yeah.
I believe it's important. I got a lot of friends up in Santa Fe, man, real good people up there, and that sucks, man. I hope they either revisit that or something, because it's important. It's important for the culture. It's important for businesses. And it's important, again, I'll say it, I've said it all podcast, brother, community, if people want it, why not,
Yeah.
but I mean, again, like I said, that Bible earlier, if it's in there, you got to kind of see those guidelines and where you got to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important to read that stuff. That's why every legislative session, I try to read as much of those bills as possible, because, there's so much important stuff that comes out, and there's so many small things you could miss. And I still miss certain things. I'm like, oh crap, I missed that. But I'm only one person.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and it's a little ridiculous because not many other industries are treated like we are. Like Las Cruces has a cigar lounge. I think we have maybe one or maybe two. Albuquerque has 2 cigar lounges, and no one really makes a big deal about those, and they're not like banned. Like they're not like, you can't have a cigar lounge. No one makes a big deal about the smell. No one makes a big deal about it happening. And that's one thing that kind of confuses me, because these tobacco lounges, essentially, even hookah lounges, are allowed to exist, without really anybody giving a shit. But we want to smoke some cannabis in a social environment. We're kind of told not to, and we're kind of they make us feel like we're a criminal. Because even one of the planning directors, he said it's not allowed anywhere except your living room, basically. And I think that's kind of messed up. It's like just telling us we're not good enough. Like, the guy smoking tobacco, he's fine. We don't trust you marijuana users.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I hope changes through time.
For sure.
And you guys, people like you guys are really helping along too with the stigma. And just kind of showing everybody that there is a customer experience to this. There is a way to do this and have fun and still be family friendly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the event that you had, that was family friendly. I think it was, right?
For the most part, everyone outside could swing through, but the dispensary still stayed by regulation, everything, because there was no consumption or anything outside. But I think the community they were ready to get out, man. It was post COVID, people weren't really throwing anything just yet. And we threw a bash, bro.
Yeah. And that's great, because, not allowing consumption lounges or somewhere to really hang out kind of just keeps us in the dark, forces us to be back in the dark. And I don't really think that's fair. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of think that's something that should change in the future. One other thing that I do want to make some caveat is consumption lounges. It's actually really expensive for insurance, come to find out. So I think that's one reason why there's not as many, because the insurance is so expensive on it.
I could imagine so.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably close to like what a bar is, I'm sure, probably more. They always gouge you when you say cannabis, and 700% more now.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, and then it's on the news every night, so everyone wants their check cut a certain way, dude. It's just, I can't get my head around it sometimes.
Oh, dude, me too. It's an ever changing thing too. But yeah, with consumption lounges, and the reason why I talk about them so much, and I've said this before on the show, they're like my baby. I worked on them with a group of people on the SM 105 Governor Task Force. It was a task force to change the medical cannabis laws in like 2017, 2018, and when I was working on the consumption lounges and we're trying to figure out the language, how they should work and everything, I really had this idea of anywhere and everywhere. And it was for the spouse who lives on a military installation who can't take it back because they do have medical cannabis cards. The person who lives on a reservation who can't take it back. The student who lives on campus housing. Person who lives government housing. Just someone who isn't allowed by their landlord or parents to smoke cannabis at their
Yeah.
house. They have somewhere to go smoke cannabis, store it, and then go home.
Mhm.
Of course, they had to have a driver and everything. That was one of the stipulations. But I kind of hope that maybe one day we can get to that, or maybe someone does something similar. Because I don't really see where it would be too bad to have storage, or maybe we could change the law again to have that. But maybe one day we can. But yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts about futures of consumption lounges? I guess what do you
Yeah,
kind of see happening?
I think in this short year of being open, I've seen uh, a baby turn into a toddler, and
Mhm.
now getting into the next stage of life, and with every stage of life comes big changes.
Yeah,
Um, I think it's not so far fetched, bro. I think it's very close in time to where we're gonna be able to actually go and partake wherever, whenever.
yeah,
A lot of the stigma is it runs so deep, unfortunately, but people like yourself and ourselves and everything, like we work diligently on trying to at least erase some sort of that, and I think it's evident already. A lot of people are starting to come around. We've had patients come in that had never partaked before, and now it's just it's not so taboo to them no more,
yeah,
and it's okay, and I don't blame them. I a lot of people grew up a certain way to where that's bad and you don't do that, and your brain's gonna fry. And but now that everything's kind of out there, and no one's frying their brain, it's kind
yeah.
of like, oh, okay, all right, well, let's try this then.
Yeah, definitely. And the from the consensus of everywhere, the most cannabis users are the older people, the older generation. They're the ones who kind of need it,
Yeah,
more or less. I guess is what I should say.
sure,
And
sure.
from what I've seen, they really like using salves and rubs and stuff like that, and it really helps them out. So, my aunt, she's going through chemo right now. She was really against cannabis, but I guess she recently started using cannabis, and it's been helping her out. And she's like, I really like these gummies.
That's
So
good, man. It's medicine. It's
yeah,
definitely medicine. It's it helps so much, from sleeping to eating to shit, anything. If you're having a bad day, your mood completely changes and you don't wake up hungover the next day. And a
yeah,
lot of people don't see that. It's not so taxing on the body either. Your body kind of starts to help itself repair itself. It's amazing. It's an amazing plant. It's an amazing chemical compound that your body just recepts to so well. It's awesome.
yeah, yeah. It's like almost like meant to be in a
Yeah,
sense.
exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much what we had for the consumption lounges. That article was from my good buddy Andy Lyman up in Santa Fe for the Santa Fe Reporter. Anytime I see his articles, I'm like, I'll plug Andy. I've been on his podcast before too. It's pretty cool. It's called Growing Forward. But yeah, good guy, does really good art, makes really good articles, writes really good articles, and he's a very good reporter. He called me one day asking about growing because he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do a whole series about my adventure of growing.
Mhm.
So he's a cool guy. But moving on, we're going to talk about state numbers for June, and this one will probably go really quick because there's not too much to talk about other than amazing numbers. So it looks like the shop numbers went up from the last time I told you guys. Like I said, I don't know if the state had updated it or if it wasn't updated yet, but it looks like it did. We jumped up from I think it was 1,008 to 1,047 in the whole state.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Awesome.
1,047. And what that is all businesses. That's just retails. Because there's not 1,047 retails in the state. Oh my god.
You know, that's
um,
awesome to see, man. Those numbers growing it's evident of growth for the state. I'm excited to see it. Again, like I said earlier in the episode, I'm a Zia kid, man. To see where we're from grow is awesome. You know,
yeah.
so that's awesome.
Yeah, I got to correct myself too. I was looking at the wrong number. That is how many retails are in the state.
There
I
you
was looking at
go.
the other number, how many businesses are all in the state. I think that's like that's some crazy number. um, but yeah, I just wanted to highlight the shop numbers because that's what everybody seems to care about anyway. But yeah, 1,047. It seems like quite a bit, but when you spread it out the whole state, it's really not as much as like we were kind of adding at the beginning. Looked like that number kept ticking up. And sometimes one month it'll be at this number, then it'll just shoot up almost like a
Yeah.
couple hundred. So it seems that things are kind of starting to slow down, and we might hit that plateau here soon. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it might happen too, man. A lot of people are starting to see um, turnaround times for applications change completely and all that stuff, and which is good. You know, that's great. And like I said, man, it's good. It's good for the state. It's good for the local communities. It's This growth is massive, and
Mhm.
for New Mexico to finally have a piece of the pie, dude, is huge. You
Yeah.
know, will we get to the plateau pretty soon? I would say yes, um, but maybe not as fast as a lot of people are thinking. I think it's gonna still take some time to, get these. Because New Mexico is an older state, dude. A lot of stuff has to be either built or revamped, and that's kind of what's slowing a lot of people down.
No, it is, and with some of the people wanting, I guess, the 100 businesses out of the thousands of businesses in the state, only 100 want to close the licensing.
Mhm.
But I really don't see that being a benefit, because if we close the licensing and too many close, then we're kind of stuck and screwed where we were like in the medical cannabis program, because
Yeah,
we can't tell the future who's going to close. Like we can make
exactly.
predictions all day, but shit happens, and sometimes it
Yeah,
happens really fast. And something could change in the blink of an eye for certain businesses.
yeah.
And we may see that happen. And yeah, I'm with you. We're not going to see like next month we're going to be like bah, but I can kind of see it starting to stagger. And
Mhm.
this time next year we'll be at a total different number of
Yeah,
retail establishments than we were this year. It's just we're getting set up still. Like it's
yeah.
only been a year. And like you said,
Yeah,
we're
it's still so
old
new
state.
to the state. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything
we're
is just
old.
so new.
And we take so long to get set up. Some people had to build out, if some
Yeah.
I've been seeing in Albuquerque all those gas stations that are turned into dispensaries. There's like I saw like five.
Yeah, I was just up there last week, man, and I ran into a few. I was like, oh, that's another one. It's cool
Yeah.
to see though, man. But again, I think that's one of the issues is the revamping and the rehabbing of these older buildings and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's been an issue of regulation too from the regulation authorities, of really getting rid of bad players in the industry who don't really need to be here, who keep breaking the rules, and they just kind of keep slapping them on the wrist. And I don't think that's really helping. Maybe they're afraid of people scaring people to getting in or something. I have no clue. But there's certain people that probably shouldn't be in, that they're really not getting rid of. So anyway, we're going to talk about the sales numbers now and move away from the shop numbers. So adult sales were at 33 million, and then it looks like medical sales were at 14 million. So it's I
Excellent.
guess slightly higher this month than last month on the medical side, but it looks like we're doing pretty solid. And I guess the average per transaction was about 40 to 50 bucks on both sides. So that's actually really good to hear too, because that people are kind of spending a little bit more. I think it was a little bit lower a couple months ago. I'm not sure, or maybe they didn't have those numbers. But
That
yeah,
seems about right.
yeah,
From
yeah.
the
It seems
numbers that we ran, it's very spot on there.
nice. Yeah, that's good to hear that you could, corroborate with
Yeah.
that and, say like, yeah, yeah, sounds about right to me. But yeah, I mean, in the coming months, maybe that's going to change. I don't know. With shops closing down, maybe we'll see more, maybe we'll see less. I have no clue. Are you seeing any kind of changes on your side?
Um, we've been super blessed with some real good steadiness, man, and I think that's one of the reasons why we've been uh, able to get to the point that we're at right now. The the numbers kind of fluctuate. It's kind of weird sometimes to see because competitors move in, different stuff comes around, and events happen in the area, different things happen in the area. So the fluctuation it's constantly changing. There was one point in time where our Tuesdays were horrible, bro. And I hated Tuesdays, to close out on a Tuesday, because it sucked. The numbers sucked. And then now Tuesdays are strong and Wednesdays are horrible, and it just continuously, it shuffles itself through. It's weird, man. It's weird. So, but yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, growing pains. I don't know.
Yeah, and we're not going to find a real stabilized pattern until the whole market in the state gets stabilized. Until the prices are stabilized, until a lot of the retails are kind of set up and like, okay, cool. The people that are here are going to be here. We may get some people in and out, whatever. But yeah, I'm kind of, same with you on that one. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had for, sales and numbers. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think that's pretty much spot on, brother. That's kind of what we've been seeing through our growing pains and everything. And
cool.
The fluctuation is fun to see for sure, though, because it starts like more like a study on the community as to what's happening, who's coming, who's going. We have a big portion of our community that travels everywhere to go work, and then they come home and you see the jump in numbers, and then they take off again back to work, or stuff like that. It's a lot of people move in and out of here, and not like permanently, but they work in a whole different city, and then they come home, and then you see them 3 months, and then they're gone for 2, and it's a fluctuation. So yeah, it sounds about right, man.
Yeah, because you have like travel nurses and all that. Because yes, nurses do smoke weed, guys.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
So yeah, but we'll move on, and we're almost done with the show today. But the last real topic that we have is the federal government looks like they're cracking down on Delta 8, even here on New Mexico, but it may not be what we're really thinking. So it looks like the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and the FDA, Food Drug Administration, they've issued warnings to several places in several states, and a place here in New Mexico actually got the warning. And the warning wasn't about the Delta 810 or whatever; it's about the packaging.
Wow.
Huh?
That's crazy. That's out of left field for sure.
Just really, yeah. I went oppo. And so, and yeah, I was like, well, I wasn't expecting that. And it does make sense because they have like pictures, and some of them are just blatant Cheeto bags, resealed, or, they're just, straight up, kid candies and stuff that's appealing to children. That can
I've seen them.
Yeah, me too. And it's careless. I'll admit that's careless. So that can be confusing for a child. He's not going to know what that little triangle really means in the corner, unless someone really shows him. But and that's fair. If people aren't really taking all the steps to make sure that kids aren't going to get in their hand, I mean, at least they're just getting a warning. It's not even like they got shut down or raided. It's just a warning. And I hope they adhere to it, because when these two entities hit you up, that means the third one might be coming along with it. So
those guys don't ring doorbells.
Yeah, no,
they knock
don't.
The door down.
they like to surprise you at the worst moments.
Exactly.
So yeah, and if you guys are selling stuff like that or Delta 8, just make sure that the packaging isn't going to do something like this, because then you're going to trigger the federal government. When you trigger the federal government, it makes everybody look bad. And we're a community, and we work as a community, we play as a community, and when someone messes up, the whole community looks bad.
We all suffer as a community.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, do you guys run into that issue down there too, like with like the packaging and stuff?
You know what, boss? We really don't sell any Delta 8.
I mean, like,
at all.
You see in the area. I'm sorry.
Oh, like in the area, we hug the Texas state line so closely, man, and those smoke shops are everywhere. Everywhere. Right down the street from us, there's one. There's 2 or 3 actually. And that's the crappy part about it, is being in a non-legal state, or at least a whatever Texas is. It's a very gray area. But I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I've seen them in different stores too. I mean, there was a point in time where Circle K's were selling certain stuff like that, and I walked in and I'm like, what the hell, like that? It's just different. The packaging is everywhere, and unfortunately, it is absolutely appealing to any eye, adult or child.
Yeah.
When the Cheeto bag looks like a flaming hot Chester Cheeto on the front, like, damn, that looks good.
Yeah. This looks like
So
something I'd eat, and then you eat
yeah,
it, and next thing you know,
exactly.
the kid had way too much, you know?
Yeah,
And the only reason why the Delta 8 industry and all these issues exist is because of the drug war and because cannabis is illegal in the first place. If we had legal cannabis and legal means for many years, this whole Delta 8 thing really wouldn't be much of an
an
issue
issue.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. But the federal government's really kind of making more of an issue for themselves by, just kind of dragging their feet. But I don't know if you've heard that, at the end of the year, they might make a decision on the scheduling of cannabis on the federal level. So that could change things night and
yeah,
day everywhere.
yeah. I did
Yeah,
hear about that. I've been following that diligently too, just to see, because that's going to impact so many people. Um, Either descheduling it or rescheduling it is going to be impactful on a whole different level.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
whichever way they go,
Yeah.
it's going to be huge.
No, 100%. Because they're either going to keep it where it's at, reschedule it, which we don't want, then that means everybody's screwed. Which I don't think they would do because too many businesses nationwide would literally shut down. Like economies would be wrecked almost.
Yeah, dude, I was looking at a map the other day, and Jesus, there's so many green states now, and
Yeah,
just to look at the map alone and kind of, have to digest that. I could only imagine what the federal government has to digest seeing that,
yeah.
like you're literally could cause like the whole tip of scales to happen with one wrong decision.
Oh, definitely. Just with that one ruling going from the Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, that sucks.
Yeah.
We'd rather have no scheduling at all and, figure it out that way because the states already have regulations implemented. There's already states, almost every state that has a regulation, they have their own rules. Now, should there be some kind of, thing where everything's the same? Yeah. It should be across the board, of course. And that's where the federal government does come in, and then they can make some of those regulations and calls because we're going to have to deal with the FDA. We're going to have to deal with all these other entities, and not just the state authorities anymore. However, that does change things for taxes and for banking. That changes the industry almost night and day too, for the
Yeah,
positive.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see the weight on my shoulders right there with all that bullshit, man, but that's where it's at, bro.
Oh, dude, I saw it. I saw it just go. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
No, and,
that's
and
been a challenge for sure.
oh, definitely. It's a challenge for everybody in every state, and that's one reason why California kind of dropped the ball because they didn't take certain things into consideration. They just taxed the living shit out of the industry, and the only way that people are able to make money over there is on the black market. Is kind of skating both ways, and it's
Yep.
not right, it's not good, but it's the only way they can make it work.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just being honest. And so, I hope that they just make the right decision. So, but that's everything I had for today. But I do have some events to talk about today. I know you said you didn't have any coming up, but there's a few going on around the whole state. I did a post today and I got way more responses than I actually thought I was going to get. So I'm actually going to have to see because, they were kind of still coming as I was, going into the studio today. And next week, I might have to see if any are going to be going on. But if you guys didn't get to catch these or there's some that you missed, if you go to the NM, I'll put the link on here. We have the group page because we kind of just changed it recently. It's NM Area 420 is the name of the Facebook group, and I'll get you added to. I'll add you on. Are you on Facebook? I'll get you added to it.
I do have a Facebook, brother. You could
Yeah,
get at me then for sure.
yeah, I'll get you added on that, and then that way we can share all kinds of information. That way you guys can see what other events are going on because it was going crazy. There's events I didn't even get on here, so let me get through this so that way I can get everybody out of here and we can get on with our days. So here in Las Cruces, looks like we're going to be having the Canna Jams Fest. It's going to be featuring Young Buck and DJ Paul of 36 Mafia. Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely for the old people like us.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I might attend that. It's gonna be July 29th, so the end of the month, at 6 p.m. at Picacho Peak Brewery here in Las Cruces. That's 3900 West Picacho Avenue. And then going down, now we're going to another city. Actually, I have another one here for Las Cruces. This is from Firehouse here in Las Cruces. This is a newer place. I guess they're having a summer giveaway, full ounce of grapes and cream. So I guess stop by and see what you guys, can get over there. And I think you can also get a T-shirt, mug, and travel guide and stickers and stuff like that. So stop by the Firehouse here in Cruces to see what they got going on. And then moving on, we're going to go to Silver City. The dudes over at High Lonesome, that's Jeffrey Castillo over there. He's going to be having a little car show thing going on at Go Park over there. I think I've been to
There
that
you
park
go.
before. It's a neat little park. So
Shout out to Jeffrey Castillo. He's the man.
yeah, he is. He's a dope guy, over there at High Lonesome Cannabis, dude. He's doing his good thing. He's
Yeah, he
doing his
is.
simple. He's got a lot of good stuff going on. He's a funny guy, man. So yeah, he's going to be hosting that. Well, not hosting. He's going to be a part of it and everything. And then it's going to be a car show. New Mexico, we're known for the lowriders, and if that's your
Yes,
that's your
sir.
thing, go check it out. There's going to be food. There's going to be a bunch of people, and it looks like there's going to be some cannabis people there too. So see what's up. Going down the list again, we're going to go down to the eastern part of the state, P-Town, Portales. You're going to be having the Culture Jam Sesh. This is also going to be on the 29th of July from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. at 1800 Red Wine in Portales. That's the location for that. Again, like I said, if you guys aren't catching this, just go ahead and go to the Facebook page, and I have the post on there, and you'll see all of these just kind of spammed on there. Now we're going up to Albuquerque. The way that we do it this show is we start south and we go up. So Albuquerque, you're going to have the Mama and the Girls grand opening. That's going to be August 5th. Address of that is going to be 915 Yale Boulevard, Southeast Suite B in Albuquerque. They have such weird names because they got the Southeast, the Northeast, the R East, whatever. So also in Albuquerque, we have the Galileo opening. These guys are cool. Got to meet them over at the Hash and Hetties. They're going to be opening up August 5th. And the event's going to be from 2 to 6 p.m. Then the after party is 6 to 10 p.m. Address for this is 637 Broadway Boulevard in Albuquerque. Then the last thing we got over in Albuquerque, and the last thing for the list, then we're going to get everybody out of here. Bingo night, sponsored by LX Farms. That's going to be at 6 p.m. 3709 Montgomery Boulevard Northeast. So if you guys...
Shout out Shane.
There we go.
Shane's the man.
So,
LX Farms is where it's at.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot that name. Yeah, so if you guys want to check all these events out, you want to check one out, want to check all of them, up to you. I'm just giving you guys the information. Y'all run with it. So that's everything I have for this week, everybody. We'll be back again for another episode of Ask Chad Grassy Logic. James, thank you so much for joining me again today. And thank you again to Chop Crop for being a part of this episode. Couldn't thank you more for being on here. I know you're a busy guy and everything. So if you want to get us out of here? Do the outro?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you to everyone. Last little thing I had for everyone. All these events that Chad mentioned right now, I think are super important. Go out and support. Go out and support. These people I mean, when we throw events, we put our heart and soul, tears and blood into it, man. It means a lot to us to see crowds out there. Go out and help the little guy out, help support, buy a ticket, go buy a shirt. I mean, honestly, all these little guys that are doing a lot of big things, it's neighborhood love. You got to get it. You got to get it. You got to see it. You got to represent, so thank you, Chad. Thank you to your squad and everything. Shout out to the whole family. Everyone that comes in heavy all the time, you know who you are. Thank you guys so much. And look forward to seeing you guys on another episode, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Heck yeah, and I can't wait to have you guys have you on again when you get down in Little Dubai. So
all right, bet, man. It's a bet.
Heck yeah. So I can't wait to see the shop here in a second. So let's get
I bet.
Go ahead.
All right. No, if you want, just give me a second. I'll go ahead and jump over to the shop real quick. Let me pause it real quick.
Cool. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get everybody out of here. All right, producer, get us out of here. End of the day. I'm ready to